9 years ago this month, Nissan began delivering its first mass-produced electric car in the form of the 2011 Nissan LEAF. It was a little quirky with a large bug-eye headlight that you either loved or hated. I personally loved it and felt it added to the LEAF's almost anime-style appearance, but I know plenty of people who didn't. It promised a range of around 80 to 90 miles in average conditions, depending on how you drove it. Over 100 was possible if you were really light-footed, and it came with optional quick charging capabilities on the entry-level model and Chidemo DC quick charging as standard on higher trim models. Other than the Mitsubishi i-Miev, which actually began deliveries in some markets a year earlier, the Nissan LEAF was the only all-electric car you could buy at the time. The Chevrolet Volt, released in the same time frame, was its closest rival, and the two models duked it out for supremacy in the early days of mass-produced electric cars. Customers flocked to both cars, and there was a wait list for both, with owners excitedly posting delivery pictures online. Again, I'm guilty of that, posting a picture of my LEAF at a petrol station the day I picked it up, which was March 28, 2011. Yes, buying a production electric vehicle back then was such a big deal that I remember the date. Since then, though, things have changed. Nissan has slowly fallen from grace among loyal electric car fans through a series of unfortunate and mismanaged situations that, to be frank, could have been avoided. This year, the next-generation Nissan LEAF has suffered in parts of the world, mostly the US, thanks to a wider choice of electric vehicles like the Tesla Model 3 and Chevrolet Bolt EV. In other markets, where it's been the best choice in terms of range versus price, it's still sold reasonably well. But after the original premature aging due to heat capacity loss debacle in Arizona back in 2013, which resulted in a class action lawsuit against Nissan, the disappointing battery specifications and range of the 2018 Nissan LEAF, and the Rapidgate debacle of earlier this year, not to mention the quiet price hike in replacement battery costs for original Nissan LEAFs, well, many former Nissan EV owners are now distrustful and frustrated with a company that was once their saviour. In less than 2 weeks' time, Nissan is expected to unveil its long-awaited Nissan LEAF E+, a longer-range, more performance-oriented sibling to the second-generation LEAF. That reveal is set to take place at CES 2019, nearly a month after the car's original planned reveal at the LA Auto Show. Nissan seems to think it has things pretty much sewn up with this new vehicle, and assuming it does unveil the LEAF E+, I'm looking forward to seeing what it's like up close and personal. It's this car, plus future models, that Nissan hopes will help it become a leader in electric vehicles once again. But many in the electric car world disagree, including many of Nissan's former customers. So what exactly does Nissan need to do in order to win back the hearts and minds of EV fans and its former customers? What does it need to offer to get people buying Nissan electric cars again? First up, Nissan needs to sort out its battery pack design. To date, every automaker which has chosen to use passive or active forced air cooling has suffered more noticeable battery degradation in its electric car battery packs than automakers which have chosen to use liquid-based active cooling. Nissan, for some reason, seems to be stubbornly refusing to accept this, despite overwhelming evidence that it's true, and it's costing the company customers because nobody wants to buy a car that suffers large battery degradation over a short period of time. Second, Nissan needs to sort out its charging times. As longer-range cars come to market, 50 kilowatts isn't cutting it anymore, especially on a battery pack that needs to thermally throttle itself in the high teens or low 20s to safely charge. Third, Nissan needs to embrace its existing owners more and support the battery replacement for existing customers. Right now, the battery pack in the Nissan LEAF is a consumable that has to be replaced at some point. It needs to be replaced more frequently than an engine would be. Allowing customers an affordable upgrade path is essential if people are to keep their LEAFs happy beyond 10 years of ownership. And yes, while the original owner may have sold their car on, the lack of affordable upgrade path is putting many potential used car customers off Nissan. Finally, Nissan needs to ensure that its cars offer a range of options to suit all budgets. Right now, automakers are generally focusing towards high-end models and markets, but Nissan, which has been working on electric cars for more than a decade now, needs to start embracing more affordable models. Its entry-level LEAF S was incredibly popular when it launched in 2012 because it offered a cheaper point of entry for those who wanted to drive electric without the bells and whistles of the higher-end models. With 10 years of production under its belt, Nissan should now be ready to focus on a wider range of models if it really does want to follow through on its promise to go all electric and lead the electric car world. Otherwise, other automakers, even Volkswagen, may steal its crown and never give it back. Do you agree? Have I been harsh on Nissan, or do you feel that Nissan's fallen out of love with electric cars? Let me know below. That's it. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you liked it or you didn't like it below. Scribble a comment, and if you want to support the show, there are a whole host of links below to help you do just that. I'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, keep evolving.